ChatGPT asks, even more controversial. Okay, unfiltered truth, according to ChatGPT. Senior developers aren't smarter, they're just better at Googling. Maybe. Let's take this one and this one. That is a bit too controversial. Backend devs are smarter than frontend devs. Prove me wrong. No, thank you. We're used to ChatGPT answering our questions, but today I'm gonna ask ChatGPT to ask questions and then I'm gonna answer them. And we're gonna add a spinny wheelie because why not? Okay, let's start. Are self-taught developers as good as developers with computer science degree? Yes, absolutely, they are. I've met quite a few amazing engineers without a degree or with a degree in a completely unrelated field. The only thing that I did notice is that when people begin programming without a degree, they don't have a background in math, logic, and yeah, all of the boring topics that are not featured usually at boot camps or tutorials. But I think over the years they kind of catch up, and in some jobs it's not that important. AI replacing developers, it's already happening. Yes, this is an issue and it's becoming more and more of an issue because AI is getting better and better, but I don't think that there is anything to worry about. I think it's just another revolution that we already had. And of course, I can imagine that during the Industrial Revolution or during the digital revolution, when the computers became a thing or when the internet became a thing, a lot of jobs were considered endangered. But just look at this, we are building more complex projects faster. We have more positions, more vacancies, people doing different stuff. So I think life is going to change. Probably we won't be writing e-files every day as software engineers, but yeah, you know, it's for the best. So we'll see. Next. What is the worst advice new developers get? I'm gonna go against the grain here, and I'm gonna say that build is not the best advice if you don't back it up with the theory, because this is basically my experience with the front end. I am a backend engineer. I only do front end when it's needed, so I basically build every time I have to, and my knowledge of front end is fragmented to say the best. Like, can I do the job? Maybe. Am I an expert in anything front end? No. No, I would not recommend it. So if you are a new developer and you're building stuff, read up on what you're doing. It may come in handy. Next. What is the biggest waste of time in software development? Meetings. Next. You don't need to be passionate about coding to be good at it. Yes and no. Yes, being passionate helps you a lot. It propels you forward because you really want to be absolutely best at the project that you're doing. And yeah, when you're pouring your soul into what you're doing, it does help you become better. But it also means you're going to burn out sooner. And on the long term, yeah, maybe you progress faster in the first year, but you're going to be burned out for 4 more. So yeah, you don't need to be passionate to be good at coding. Sometimes it hinders the progress, actually. What's the biggest lie about programming? Yeah, I think that programmers make a lot of money. Yes, you do in big companies, absolutely. But a lot of programmers are working for smaller companies. They don't make a lot of money, and they probably have more nerve cells. I hope I will experience it myself someday. Scrum killed developer productivity. Absolutely, yeah. Don't get me wrong, Scrum is nice. You have new requirements every 2 weeks. Who doesn't like that? But Scrum comes with a lot of meetings, and meetings are evil, especially when people are doing them for the sake of tradition without giving it much thought. So no, I'm not a big fan of Scrum. I like revisions every 2 weeks, let's say. I don't like having retro about retro, or planning after the refinement, after the planning of refinement. That's not my thing. Next. How do you approach a new code base? Good one. So usually I focus on the endpoints. So all the entry points into the system, and in my line of work it's usually just endpoints. But basically whatever you have, all the points where the system interacts with the user or the client system or anything else. And then I also try to find some diagrams of what's going on. Sometimes your software can generate it, but yeah, they're not always present. So if you start with an endpoint and you know what the system does, you can just go through a couple of workflows and you have this image in your mind of what to expect from a code base, and that usually helps a lot. What's the most frustrating thing about debugging? When you have monitoring set up on different services differently and you cannot find correlation between them. So you have requests starting on one service, you have requests ending up in another service, and there is no trace, and you're not sure that they are indeed the same request. It's frustrating, especially when you have thousands of requests per second and you just cannot trace it manually. It's infuriating. Next. Backend devs are smarter than frontend devs. Prove me wrong. I'm pretty sure I removed it from my list. No, they're not. There is definitely a different way of thinking. And that's why I'm a huge advocate for backend developers to try frontend and not the way around, because some of the things are widely used in one side and not on the other side. But yeah, no, they're not. We do think about security more, I guess, but no. Why do some developers burn out so fast? Passion mostly. You want to do your best, and it's not always possible in the field because people have different interests and nobody's going to support your best interest all the time. But also because the field is so complex and so demanding, there is no hard truth. You are always reinventing yourself and your craft and your job. So it's a lot of mental load, it's a lot of exhaustion, and you have to deal with people quite a lot, and interaction with other people with huge mental load are just adding to it for all of the sides. So yeah, burnout is a real problem in IT, and I kind of wish it was talked about a bit more, because the ideal picture of a software engineer is lying on the beach, working remotely, getting a lot of money. But the realistic picture of a software engineer is sitting at home in front of a monitor, being completely burned out and not wanting to do anything with life. And the last question is, what's the most useless best practice developers follow? Okay, covering everything with unit tests, and don't cancel me for that. Hear me out. The unit tests are amazing when you're building some logical blocks, but when you're just starting a new project and you have no idea how the structure is going to look like, maybe don't. Not right away. Just cover some end-to-end cases, something very simple, mock some external components, just cover the whole flow and just roll with it until you know how things are gonna go. Only write unit tests for components that have a lot of logic in it. Yeah, I don't know. I'm not a huge fan of 100% coverage. This video was so interesting to record that my cat fell asleep. Oh well. At least I got some emotional support from the couch.